Boone is here.
I can't move.
I wasn't expecting James to die. I was expecting...
Well, of course. I thought, his brother-in-law was going to die.
I was expecting Pickle Dick to die. So... That's what I'm calling him. Is that not appropriate?
No. I'll go for Pickle Dick.
I call him brother.
But nothing happened to him. Nothing happened to Tom. Nothing happened to Pickle Dick. It was kind of a lame duel because you would expect at least some...
Well, no, the big thing that came out of the duel is that
Andrew.
the East Indian Company
yes.
They load his gun with a ball.
But Tom Hardy shot his second.
So basically, they sold out Pickle Dick.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yeah. They expected Tom Hardy to shoot him.
No. Pickle Dick's not the guy that got killed. Pickle Dick
his
is the
brother-in-law.
Oh, his brother-in-law.
So the East Indian Company, basically, in that scene we found out, are willing to sell anybody out.
No, so we're trying to figure out if, because James... No.
Words, please.
The Pickle Dick second, who was the second person in the duel. The rules of the duel,
Yes,
you have a
and he was
first
part
and
of
a
the
second.
East India Company.
The second, who loaded his gun...
You're not listening to what I was.
I'm trying to explain.
Okay.
I know what you're saying.
Time out. Kate.
No, Zach wants to go first. No, because he's explaining why. I was just explaining the end result.
I think something may have had too much to drink.
No, it's because he decides that he is not in danger because all of the ITC, the India
Trading Company,
the honorable,
doesn't want him to die.
Honorable.
And so he assumes, and that's my question. My question is, does he assume? Does he know?
Who's
or is he just... Does James know for a fact?
Yes.
Or is he just that much of a badass? Is he's like, I think that...
No. James figured it out. That's why he could have easily have shot Pickle Dick in the face, but he didn't.
And this is just like a character question. Does he know that for a fact that they aren't going to do that, or does he just assume?
Do you mean is this?
No. I think he knew. Wait.
That he can't be killed. So did someone tell him it's
no?
A fake
He
bullet?
knew that he wouldn't.
He figured it. I think he figured it out.
Wait. No. Not that James Delaney figured out. Not that he wouldn't. Not that he can't be killed. He figured out that he wouldn't be killed. The moment he made that will, he knew that no one in the East Indian Trading Company would try to kill him.
The only reason for Pickle Dick not to have a ball in his gun is because his second, who loaded it, must have.
They work for the company.
I know, and that's true. But I think the interesting part about his character is that did someone tell him it wasn't loaded?
No,
did he just know?
I think he intuited it. It's like the only reason that would have happened is because you were preventing my death because.
And it could go both ways. Like someone could have just told him like, oh no, it's fine. But I think
he sat there. He noticed that it would have been
a
a dead hit right here, and he was just like, they didn't load your gun.
Dude, he looked down and he was like, oh, some dust got on my sleeve.
Alright, so that was the duel. I think we covered that one thoroughly.
Oh, and Rachel says the guy scribes for the ITC, so he must be in the scenes.
Maybe Delaney knew. I'd seen him before.
Yeah.
I seen Tim in the whorehouse.
Crystal says, Focus, everyone.
The next thing that happens is the...
and Lily, we remember the will. That's why we're all going crazy about this.
Right. So then we get to the gunpowder. So the next theme was the gunpowder.
Yeah. So kind of like they stole it, and then we get introduced to his son. They know that they stole it.
They stole the ingredients to make it.
No, they stole. Yeah, they stole the saltpeter, and they can make the gunpowder.
The East Indian Trading Company came looking for the missing saltpeter.
Yeah.
Right?
They went to his house.
Right. So that tipped off Delaney.
Silly word,
that tipped off Delaney that someone had ratted him out. There is a leak in the system somewhere.
And that's when James attacked that guy in the road.
Right. And he... In the road?
Yeah, he attacked the guy on the road, on the highway.
Like his
He like sliced them all up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His love handles.
Yeah.
But then he also took the thumb of the guy who worked for Atticus.
Yes.
But I don't know if that was... Maybe he just did that for optics. Because I don't think that was really the guy who did it. I mean, he looked kind of innocent.
I mean, that's pretty rough to say. And and I'm going to make an example of you. So,
Random person.
I
mean, I don't know. I don't think Delaney cares.
I don't think so either.
When he's during that scene, he was like, "This is what you'll do if you join me in my future endeavors in America. But if you fuck with me, like, I will make you unuseful." And that's when he chopped off.
Took a thumb. So.
And he goes to the horse house, and then he goes to the.
But he goes back to the farm to the alchemist. I don't know what is the chemist's name. The chemist's name. And basically, the chemist said, "I can't work faster." Oh. He wants him to work faster,
right?
But he needs an assistant.
Yeah.
So he gives him
his son.
We think his son, and then
so does the chemist.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't have a confirmation yet.
We don't have 100. But people talk about this on the chat too. Well, and what Luli, I think Luli said.
My notes.
We're just doing the themes.
No, I know.
So Luli was suggesting that they didn't know they were half brother and sister when they had sex and she got pregnant, which I don't agree with. I think.
Okay.
I don't know what she just said.
No.
My theory.
Say it again.
My theory is they fell in love, had sex, she got pregnant. Someone came out with the lie that they were half brother sister to separate them, but they're really not related. I think they grew up together. She's the daughter of the second wife. After the first wife went to Bedlam.
When we were younger. So that proves that they knew each other
They knew each other when they were young.
Yeah.
They knew each other when they were young, but they didn't necessarily
I would disagree with Lily on that. That they were raised in the same house together.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
But maybe they. Well, actually, no. I mean, being raised together would make sense why they are so close.
So she does say that the butler needs to start fucking talking because he fucking knows things.
That is true. But maybe they were raised together, but never truly believing that they were related.
No, I think he got his wife in the Americas. She wouldn't play the game properly. He got rid of her and had James. He married a second wife.
I was trying to exclude that one little bit of incest, but no, everyone clearly believes that
the show's called
it's
Taboo.
all about incest.
And what is her name?
Zilpha.
I think Zilpha is her. I think it's just. I mean, I don't know.
Like
it would be interesting to think that
Lily
is clued into something that the rest of us aren't, but I just think that would just destroy so much if they weren't really related.
Back to the gunpowder.
Oh, okay.
And then the Americans blackmail him and tell him that they know everything, where they're hiding the saltpeter, about this and about the sun.
Or the lack of
No. They just knew about the saltpeter and the chemist.
They knew the chemist. So they're like, we need, 8 barrels of gunpowder? Is that what they blackmailed him for?
They needed it in 8 days.
8 days. Yeah. So now he has to not only produce gunpowder for his needs, now he has to produce gunpowder for the Americans as well. So now he's like not moving fast enough to begin with, and now he has like a whole
which is not even legal for him to be making gunpowder to begin with.
And then Chomdenbalding maybe.
Say
that again.
I spell it Chlommy. Clomley, the doctor who does
Chomley. There's a lot of consonants. He must be Welsh. There are a lot of consonants in there.
That's why I do Chlommy. That's how I spell it. Clomley.
Anyway, he says there's a chemical that this additive you can make it faster, but it might completely blow up in your face.
And you gotta keep stirring.
A chlorate.
You have to be stirring constantly, or it's gonna blow up.
And we've already seen like him telling, like earlier on, we saw him telling the son to keep stirring.
Yeah, so
they obviously.
Well, stirring is part of the process.
He was asking for a team of people to keep.
You have
to make it go faster.
We already saw how much they have to stir what they do now, and it takes that long. But he said, he focused on, it has to be constantly stirring.
It's like the only thing I do with my life is stir.
Oh, quick pause. Go back. Rachel says to cut off the thumb because everyone was thinking about turning him in. So he did it. He took one of them to say,
as an example. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel, for making me right. I love it. I love you.
I like this, Rachel.
So, the next thing was the damn Foot Locker with all the letters.
Right.
That she finally brought to the
Rachel,
manor.
Lily, we'll get to that shit. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
What did you call me?
She didn't call you anything.
So, the Foot Locker that came with all the letters, and he just sat there in front of the fire because he was looking. He was
just hoping someone would call him a foot long.
And he was just tossing things, and then we kind of learned about.
He was like, he's looking for a particular document.
Oh, yeah, because he was looking for the treaty.
Yeah, he said that everything
and then when
was
she casually bumped, and then is that when the treaty fell out?
No, she.
No, it was a whole, like, it was, like, and everything that I say doesn't make sense on this thing, but like, what I wrote is, he is looking for particular documents. The treaty was bought for gunpowder and lies.
Right.
And then he says that his dad bought his first wife for beads. But you don't pay beads for soul. So he feels like he's kind of angry about his father buying his mother for
right,
beads.
but then we said, like,
And
how
then,
do we know that
he
he wasn't trying to
that,
just
like,
free her?
But we find out more about it because we find out that his wife wouldn't pay. Like, she wouldn't play the role that she was supposed to play, so she wouldn't be, like, the Italian person or the Spanish
Yeah, because he thought he could bring her over and say, oh, she's not Native American.
And she wouldn't do that, and so he sent her to Bedlam to die, so he was essentially like, you won't do what I want, so I'm going to say it crazy.
Which is a terrible thing. Like, I've done research on Bedlam.
I agree with you that on Rachel.
So that's why he would feel bitter against his dad and be burning all those love letters. And so that's why he's burning stuff. And then he's like, no, fuck it, like, that's why I'm so mad. And she storms out. She opens at the top of the chest.
She totally tells the secret opening.
And she finds the secret opening, and she says that have you never bought a soul for gems? And that's what or for beads.
Yeah, you don't buy a soul with beads.
No, she asked him a rhetorical question.
Have you never bought a soul for beads?
Oh, I thought she said don't buy a soul for beads.
No, she said, have you never bought a soul for beads?
But then when she left with the rhetorical question of, if you've never sinned or you've never done something like this before.
As if you never. Okay.
Alluding to the slave ship.
And then what? And then she kicked something open, and then the treaty was there.
She opened the false top.
Yeah.
It was a false top, not a false bottom. The false top, because she knew that's where the treaty was.
Yeah, but so that's she kind of starts at, and then
Zach's mind went somewhere else.
I went somewhere completely different. So now he has a treaty. We don't know what the treaty says. We'll have to slow-mo and still frame it and read it later.
Yeah.
No. He was looking for the treaty because
it was signed by him. And
that it was actually traded, and that it wasn't a product of war, or what is it? It wasn't a profit of war.
A war profit, yeah.
It's like that's why he wanted the treaty.
So now that he has a treaty, does Lorna
Boat,
does she still have rights to the treaty?
By English law,
she still owes half of it until she dies.
Yeah. Because she, I'm
done hating her.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, it's true. Like, we don't dislike her, but she hasn't done it. Like, it's kind of
she's just there.
She is there.
I mean, the thing is,
we don't know whether to dislike her.
She was introduced as an opposing force. But really,
and at first she seemed like weird and annoying.
I know. I'm trying to get through it.
No. But Tom Hardy is.
So much left in this episode.
Yeah.
Well, we have two more big topics.
Let's move on.
Okay.
So we'll talk about Lorna later.
But Tom Hardy's character is doing something that he seems like that he likes her, or at least wants to keep her around.
Well, he needed her for that treaty. Now that he has a treaty,
which means that next week
the next thing we find out is about the slave ship that went down, and Worcestershire came into town.
Chichester.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Chichester.
I'm still going to say Worcestershire.
So he came into
Chichester.
You need a tissue?
Okay.
Here we go. So,
by the way, no one trusts Lorna. She can be bought. Okay.
I think so too.
Because she's a whore. Yeah. And so Chichester comes to town.
Which was just as low as the whore back in that day.
Had this conversation.
Moving on.
Blackamoor comes to town, as what's his face calls him.
Thrift store?
Yeah.
So he basically says that there was a slave ship that illegally was going to import slaves that was owned by the East Indian Trading Company, and that there is some kind of like blackmail to be done.
Yes, clearly the East Indian Trading Company
Here's the deal.
was buying those.
ITC had a ship because the ship that he bought, he felt was like it goes to one port for the ITC delivering, beads.
You're saying Delaney bought the ship?
The ship that Delaney bought was not this ship, but a ship that was the same way. It goes to one port for the ITC,
right?
And then delivering beads, and then it is secretly they deliver slaves elsewhere.
Right.
And so what they did is the ship went someplace, they changed its name, they loaded up with slaves from Africa, which are illegal by that time.
Right.
And there's a lot of talk about the slave ship.
So you're saying that ITC
is
in the black market for slave trade?
Yes.
Like on the DL. But
they were still making money off of it.
Right, but this is it's still going. It's ongoing. Yeah. So it wasn't just the one slave ship that we think we have them on one.
Well, we have at least two ships that are being claimed to be involved with that. The one that Delaney bought and the one that went down.
Right.
And the big question, a lot of big questions is first of all, I would agree with anyone who's saying that the ship that Chichester was talking about is the ship that Delaney was on when he nailed the
he nailed them down.
Okay, so first of all there's that, and then Delaney survived the shipwreck. The second is what was Delaney's involvement? I would say that depending on the timing of when that ship went down, Delaney used to work for the East India Trading Company as as an intern or whatever, as an apprentice. So it may have been his last time that he worked with, and they all thought he was dead. So he because he was underneath Jonathan Pryce,
right?
So he did what he was told, and he now knows how wrong what he did was.
Right.
And so and someone, I can't remember if this was Lily or Rachel. I'm sorry, I'm going through. It's Rachel. So Rachel is saying that is James manipulating the EITC in order to get a revenge over the ship sinking, because
I can totally see him manipulating them for his own
the ghosts that
purposes.
he deals with, or he dealt with in that one scene in the morgue, were the slaves, that he had to lock in as the ship.
So you think he was just following orders from?
He was following orders.
ITC. I mean, maybe it could be a mercy killing. Maybe he nailed him in there that way they wouldn't.
No, because he survived the shipwreck. They could have all survived. I mean, maybe not all, but people could have survived the shipwreck if they could have gotten out of the hole.
Okay,
but if he wanted them to die, it may have been again for his own selfish purposes.
So,
but I can see him originally working for
the Crown.
The Indian Trading Company.
Crown has this information. So the Crown now has, I guess, some kind of legal thing they can put, or they have some kind of leverage, blackmail leverage against the ITC. ITC. So that's going to be interesting to see how that blackmail is going. But Delaney is involved. We think Delaney is involved in that somehow. So,
he was initially at one point.
Okay, so
and maybe that's why they want so much to control him is because he was involved, and now they.
Any more comments about the
well,
the
and
ship?
Lily said something about the brother, and I don't know if you mean the brother-in-law, but
Pickle Dick
has
We're
complaining
gonna go
to
on
the Crown
Pickle Dick
to
from now
investigate
on.
this for a few years. But now the Crown is interested.
Sorry, the
in
dire wolves are
investigating.
walking across the camera.
So but the Crown has taken interest in. I mean, the whole thing about the boat has come to the attention of the Prince Regent.
Ooh,
Yeah.
So
and the Crown and ITC are not friends in the least.
no.
Rockefeller.
And we
No.
get all the
there somewhere.
information about what happened on that ship with all the people who died.
The numbers
And
that
it was
died.
280
the brother
souls
is the
down.
black man.
Yeah, 120 men died, 84 women died, 76 children died, and then all of them drowned. But then the guy who was part of the Sons of Africa.
Right. So the brother, as they're referring to him,
Yeah.
the brother he's been pushing them to investigate, and no one cared. But now the Crown is picking up interest in it because of probably the connection to James Delaney.
Right.
It's an election year.
Right. All right. So the last thing that we had, the last thing that happens is the astral sex that's been going on.
Oh my gosh, y'all are in this astral sex.
Astral sex is rampant in the bedroom of Zilpha.
Oh wait, I got this. I have this. Like this bullet point is pretty funny because it's ridiculous.
Go for it. I want to hear it. What do you got?
Zilpha and the brother-in-law, like she's doing
Zilpha, Pickle Dick.
Yeah, Pickle Dick. Sorry. She says that he needs an exorcism. She's pissed. She gets trapped to the floor. He's trying to exorcise. He brings in people trying to exorcise her. They are feeling her tits. They spray her with holy water, and then she went night-night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she passed out.
Yeah.
They sprinkled her with holy water.
Did she pass out though?
And then, like, the brother-in-law Pickle Dick wants to untie her, and the priest doesn't want him to untie her because
he's like, give her a few minutes.
I think she did like
let her
bear
reflect.
attacks.
Yeah.
Like when you're attacked by a bear. I don't know how good this is, but they used to say,
that's what she would do.
go limp, play dead.
Yeah.
Well, I think she just kind of stopped.
She went limp.
Fighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but then the last thing that I have down is that Pickle Dick is untying her and wanting her to come to bed. He's like, please forgive me, come to bed. And she's like, yeah, just give me a minute. And then she says, like, guide me to bed. And then I have that he is in bed. He is locked in bed, and then she has a weapon.
She has a letter opener or
something.
Yeah.
It looked like a knitting needle.
Yeah, like, I mean, she had something that she was
It's like, she could have stuck it with a pointy
end.
end.
No, he could see her, though. He was watching her.
He was like, somehow he was locked somewhere.
His eyes were open?
I don't know.
Yes, he was like, come to bed, come to bed. And like, you could see her clearly getting some kind of long pointy thing to ass fucking with.
So I think he's kind of like
but
locked
he
in a
asked her
place.
to come to bed when they were downstairs. He
got in the bed, splayed himself out, and she's like,
oh, she's like, hang on just a second.
Yeah, she's going through her drawers trying to find a pointy thing.
Oh, well, maybe that was
watching her.
Says, teach me now.
No, she says, guide me.
Guide me.
And then, but that's what she says. And
so
then
it's
he's,
like,
literally what I say is, she says, guide me, he is in bed, he is locked, and she is a weapon.
So is she going to punish him now?
I think so.
It's some S&M shit happening.
Yeah,
it's 50 Shades of Grey, I tell you.
Not interested.
Shooting mercury in his penis and
50
stuff.
Shades of Grey.
Not interested.
Have you ever seen that stuff?
No.
Where they put the tube in
Not
the
interested.
and they shoot the things they thought would cure diseases and stuff.
Oh, yeah, like
and
mercury.
then, but some people found pleasure in it, so they.
This is getting disgusting. I'm getting sick. Anyway,
Science
so
And Lily refers to her as people. Many sexually abused victims will have these out of body experiences.
That makes sense.
So,
yeah.
she also got felt up and exercised.
she got felt up by a priest. She got beaten and like I don't know what. By
I feel like
her
I would
husband.
stay on that floor for a little longer. Just
Yeah.
like I'm good. No one's attacking me. I'm probably good right here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna rest for a little bit. So is there anything else we're
Okay, and definitely the words we heard were her thoughts. Her mouth was, no, James did not hear. But guide me and all that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I don't know.
Well, that's what Rachel. No, that's what. Rachel's asking. Do we think was that her thoughts we were hearing?
I feel like she said that out loud because he was definitely watching her grab that pointy thing.
Well, yes, but he wasn't responding to what she was saying.
I think he was waiting and wanting it. I think he was waiting. All right, is there anything else we missed about this episode? All right, so that's gonna officially end our After Talk discussion. If you want to talk about more S&M things, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below about which position you'd like to take in.
Yep.
All right, so
At Zach Baxter.
with that said,
So thanks for joining us, Lily and Rachel, and mysterious
Anyone else?
third person.
With that said, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We have new videos every single week. Walking Dead's coming back
Zach Baxter.
Sunday.
this Sunday, and then we're going to start watching
Sunday.
Feud after Walking Dead, and we're going to finish up Taboo as well.
And I might show you my
Feud
bum.
will probably take place of Taboo, because Taboo's going to be over by time Feud starts.
in like
To be feud.
4 more
Right.
episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confused. I'm confused with the calendar.
We'll figure it out. You don't worry about it. You just stay right here. Subscribe.
watching
Let's
us.
raise our glasses. Let's say goodnight to everybody.
Have fun.
I'll show you my bum.
All right. And
And
now our watch
watch
has
has ended.
ended.
Thanks for watching,
Good night,
everybody.
everyone.